Greetings, warmest greetings. I must give thanks and praise to the Most High. Give thanks to the Conscious House, to Brother Tony. I want to give thanks for life. And also, I must give thanks to, condolences to our Brother Hitman. As you know, many people are feeling the loss of our brother Hitman. And so another 9 nights tonight. So enough people want to go down there and pay their respect. So, people that we mentioned that. So inside the house, we have our beautiful brother, Lindsay, who I met. So after I met him Saturday, in fact, we was there to celebrate life of Skiffy because his sister, Hazel, who put a vent on, and everything was really talking about Skiffy. As you know, Skiffy had challenges with cancer. After I get to meet Lindsay. Anyway, Lindsay in the house. Lindsay, let me shake your hand, brother. That's the first thing. Give thanks, you know what I mean? And Lindsay have a book, a powerful book with someone's photo. He's a photographer. And he spent many years studying, traveling all over the world, teaching and, trying to picture different images. And in the book there, I'm surprised, I bought a big book, I'll show you it later on, with people like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Frank Bruno, some early images, Anyway, I don't have time to really go to your CV right now, you know what I mean? We're going to be for another half an hour, whatever, 20 minutes. But brother, what I want to do is just get a brief background about yourself because, I mean, you're a dime in the community. And just reasonably, I'll get a little vibes from you, already. And people need to know about you, So just a little background about yourself and where your journey come from.
Well, Dougie, this like, how do I start? Look, I'm 63 years old.
63?
I'm 63.
Yeah. You don't look at 63, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's life, they say, is unique for themselves.
Right.
Well, my life was I was born in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I never knew my mum until when I was 10 years old, because she, after the war, since I was born in 52, the war had only been finished, 6-7 years, so there was a lot of work in England, UK, for black people from the Caribbean, as you know, probably your mum, I don't know. So they all came on. So maybe when I was about 10, my mum, was ready for me, and I came over and I went to school here. And from I came here, I've actually loved living in this country, because I treat this as my home from home. My home is Jamaica, but I've spent, in the past 63 years, I've spent 40 years outside of Jamaica, so I live here.
Okay then.
Yeah, and probably when I left school, the other day I was telling somebody about when I went to see Jimi Hendrix. This is 1970.
You saw Jimi Hendrix?
I saw Jimmy last performance a month before he died.
Okay then.
That was at what we call the celebrated Isle of Wight Festival.
That was a big festival.
Massive.
Festival here,
because remember, the year before there was Woodstock.
Yeah, I had a Woodstock
in the United States.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to Isle of Wight and I saw Jimi Hendrix, and it was when I realized the Doors, because at that time the Doors was probably the biggest band in the world. I thought, man, I've seen the Doors. And very soon after, because up until 2 years before, I had this little inkling about photography.
Okay.
I used to watch a show on TV called Man of the World.
Man of the World.
Stars Craig Stevens, probably people don't know about. But it was about this photographer who went all over the world taking pictures and getting involved. And I don't know, that series just clicked onto me. I said, man, I want to be a man of the world. And that's where really I nurtured the feeling that there was something special about taking photographs and meeting people and photographing. So from that time, I got involved in photography.
Okay, because I understand you went to Sweden. How did that?
Yeah, I met a Swedish family over here, and they invited me to come to Stockholm,
Mm-hmm.
and I spent 2 years living in Sweden, man.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
Um, it was a good and bad experience
Okay.
because, you know, it taught me. Sweden at that time they called the cradle to grave society.
Mm.
Yeah, because everything was taken care of.
Mm.
So, you know, and it was a little bit mundane, probably a little bit too bland,
Mm.
you know. But it was a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I left Sweden, I went back to Jamaica. But that was more or less the first time I hooked up with Bob.
Okay, we're back to Jamaica, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then.
And then I left Jamaica and I went to Africa.
Yeah, I understand with Jeff. I understand you was a teacher, junior teacher out there, doing some lecturing, teaching out there?
I lived in a place called Edra, which is
Edra.
right in the middle of Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
not too far from Mampong. We call that Kumasi area.
Come on, say.
Yeah, Kumasi area of Ghana.
I see that.
And it was a nice little village, but they didn't have somebody who could speak or teach English.
Mm.
So I said, I'll teach English. 6 months, I was English teacher.
Is that so? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that experience?
That was brilliant because, you know, there was a period where I actually thought I might as well stay here. And it really did occur at one point that I was going to stay in Ghana.
Mm.
But I felt the urge of moving around Africa because Africa is such an enormous, giant beast, I call it. And, you know, there's always that energy that I had to see more.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up spending a year in Ghana.
You and God.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I want to do, I want to jump here, right, and talk about the book. You know.
Portrait?
Yeah, the portrait. You know.
Yeah, you got a copy
I've
there.
got a copy here.
It's a very old copy, by the way. It's not old as the original one, but if you notice, it's slightly battered and bruised
Oops.
because it's been all over the world.
Vision over
Been
the world.
to
Yeah.
Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, and so many hands have gone through it. I'm so blessed I still have it in my hand.
Mm.
I have to try and see if I can get it repaired, but I leave it like that just for people to see that it's been around, you know?
Because me was talking earlier on,
Yeah.
and even the book, because you said that once you got a thought, you got that thought and that commitment, it's a done deal. Reality is now you got a book.
Yeah.
So how did that, to let people know, because people are listening, you know, and people are kind of fascinated by you, how did that book really come, how did that come, the thought come, how did it come about, and, you know, in terms of the preparation of the book and
Well,
together.
you know, look, most of the images in that book
Yeah.
span over a 35 year
35
period,
years period, yeah.
going back to probably 1979, I think, right? 78, 79.